And it's just to be really clear. So, I mean, it happens to me all the time. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, going, oh, what I do. And then I was like, why is everything going weird? And I go, well, I haven't been being clear. Like, it's the same as marketing messaging, right? It's like, well, who do you work for? Anyone and everyone. Well, then what are you going to get? You have no idea. Well, what do you do? I just help people. This is what I hear from marketers all the time. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But then everyone's just completely like confused. And you're just like, oh yeah, she's a nice girl, I like hanging out with her on Facebook or whatever. But then you're not getting anything. Or the people who do value, and then say, well, have you ever told them that you sell anything? No. Well, how are they going to know? It's the exact same thing, on a bigger scale with the universe, because the universe is the people in your audience as well, right? So when we start with the universe, everything else tends to go much clearer as well. So I'm very
makes so much sense.
Mind, doesn't it? Okay. So
that's I get it. I'm just like, okay, got it. Like I knew this, but I don't think I knew. I get it. I get it.
The feelings are good, but the language that the universe speaks is English in your case. And English is coming from thought and speech. And it starts with thought. So if we've got a lot of unconscious stuff going on and we're not really addressing it and we're not really saying it. Like yesterday, I made a reel yesterday and then I had to cancel it because it was like not working properly last night. I want to do it again. Like yesterday, I was walking down the street with a friend of mine and like a new friend. So I was like, telling him all about like different things in my life. And I was saying how I had this vision and I was talking about it. And then I noticed that as I was talking about it, like there was more ideas coming, right? So when we talk about our dreams, they have a tendency to come true. Right? So when we just have a dream in our head and it's wishy-washy, we're not really sure what it is, nothing happens. And I've started to notice that I used to never really talk about stuff to people. I didn't talk about problems, didn't talk about dreams, just didn't talk about anything. I just kind of never really talked to people about stuff. I kept it private. Now I've noticed that when I start to talk to people, so that could look like journaling, talking out loud to yourself, talking to a coach, talking to a friend, writing posts on Facebook, whatever it is. But when you start talking about what you want, this is what asking is about. Ask and you shall receive. Like, it's even in the Bible, and that's just law of attraction. So when you actually start to talk about stuff, you're using language, and abracadabra is I create as I speak. So it's like, I want $3,000 in my bank account every month so I don't have to think about it, because I love the feeling of not having to worry about money, right? And in the reality of the world that we live in, what I've seen to be true is that looks like $3,000 a month in my bank account. When I don't have $3,000 in my bank account, I don't feel free to go around. So that's how it's manifested itself for me, right? Now, I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. But somehow when I look back this year and I saw that there was always $3,000 or more or less between $2,000 and $3,000 of spending going on, and somehow that money was there all the time, I realized that the universe listened to me. It didn't look like how I wanted it to look. It didn't all come from my business. It came from my dad dying and family and all sorts of different ways. But the universe heard me, that I didn't have to worry about money. Now, when I start worrying about money, here's what happens. I get into all this like, oh God, I don't have enough money to pay this bill. Oh God, that this is, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And all that's happening here is then, number one, I'm getting in my own way. I'm like down on the lower floors of the elevator of consciousness. I can't see all the stuff that's already happening around. The universe is already doing all this stuff. And then I'm not available to see what's there already. Like that's kind of what happened to you with your business. It's like, well, it's already all happening, but then I get in my way and I start to do, and I can't see that actually it's already happening. And then we come back and you've gotten up the elevator of consciousness and you're back up there and you realize it's all the same as it was at the start. And the universe has been scurrying around trying to help you to do it, but you haven't been available because you've been down there. Does that make sense? So when it comes to the money part, for me, what I notice is that when I start worrying about money, it's like, it's already happening. Like I'm already, being moved into how to create it, but I'm just not available. I'm off talking to Bob. Right. And then as a result of that, like I create as I speak. It's like I start making it more difficult for myself. I start doing more stuff, running around in loops and circles of, chasing my tail of not actually creating the things that I want to create, because my head is taken over. My habitual thinking has taken over. And then I'm getting sick and getting tired and burnt out and all of those kind of things. That's a thing. And I'm talking about me, but like it's people in general, right? And then so what we're doing is we're putting it out to the universe. That's like, yeah, like I'm poor, or yeah, I don't have enough money. And then what happens? You don't have enough money. Right? So it's kind of a dance. Like, as I say, it's which came first, the chicken or the egg. I've just copped on to that when I'm very clear and I go, actually, I've seen that when there's $3,000 in my bank account every month, it just makes things really easy for me. It's really helpful. And then I go, right, so that's it. Universe, I want $3,000 in my bank account every single month. And then it's just there somehow. And then I get to go and concentrate on the thing that lights me up. Right. So the thing that's lighting you up, as you said, it trickles down, but let it trickle down into this is what makes it look on this 3D level on the planet of Earth, that this works on a tangible level. You get me?
Yeah.
Because we are turning through language, through English, right? Thought and speech. We are turning the formless energy into form. That's what manifesting is. And the medium is language. It's thought. Does that make sense? Do you want me to give you an example?
No, I get it.
So we're taking like, you know, we're taking a feel, like what I see in you is you have the feeling, I want to feel free, and that's lovely, right? But then we are taking that feeling and turning it into something that actually exists. And in this case,
I love this. So many like
feeling is the cosmos and the energy, and that's all one thing, and it's lovely, right? And you're connected to it. But then it's like you take that and you, through your language, go, this is how I want to turn this energy into something. I want it to look like a box. I want it to look like a phone. I want it to look like 3,000 in my bank account. I want it to look like it's magic, like you talk about, right? But when we're up in our head and we're going, oh, I don't know, I think I'll just like to feel nice, it just stays like that. It doesn't actually turn into anything. Or it turns into little bits here and there, but it's not like solid. So you've got this amazing power. That's why this is all about thought. Diva 2 is all about thought. Thought is your power. It's also your bloody enemy if you don't get it right. And that's why we need to know that everything you create comes from thought. So the lack of consistency in our business comes from lack of consistency in our thinking. You got it?
Yeah. I'm having such a light bulb moment right now.